Hi there, and welcome back to the Thinkasa YouTube channel. So if you see my laptop here, I'm just going to be referring back to my notes here, but today we're going to be going over what the difference is between front end and back end. So you've probably heard us a lot say the difference between front end and back end work on your website and web development and when it comes to just the technical details of things. And so today I wanted to give you the full lowdown on what the difference is between front end and back end editing. So we're going to start with front end. Now this one is a little bit easier to explain, but front end basically just means everything that's more visual and customer facing. So this is any aspect from the way that your website actually looks to the way that the drop down menus are set up, the way that the colors go, and the way that things flow, and the different options that you have to click as somebody navigates your website. Somebody working on the front end part of your website will be using things like graphic design help like Photoshop and JavaScript, and they'll also be using different coding programs as well. Essentially, the front end and the back end go together, but it's to make sure that the website's user interface navigates properly and it looks very put together. Essentially, some of the main things that a front end developer is going to be doing is working on web design, programming, computer science, and graphic design. There are a few front-end developer skills that most web developers will have if they're working on the front end of your website, and we'll just list them here for you just so you can take a look at those. Okay, so with that being said, the back-end editor and the back-end development of your website is the more technical side of things. So this is going to be the actual functionality of your website, and it's going to include a lot of the behind the scenes when it comes to developing your website. Usually a backend developer is going to be working on the site's operations, databases, and API. Essentially, this is working in all of the backend programming and computer science type knowledge that you will need to have in order to make sure that your website actually is cohesive. When you click this, it goes there. Make sure that it's running smoothly. When people navigate here, this is what it does. Make sure that your images are fine, and like all of the back end work that you normally won't see as a visitor or even as a business owner when you go to your website, that is the back end development part. And just like front end, there are some back end developer skills that we will list right here. Typically, if you're a back end developer, then you'll have some of these skills, or you will have a little bit of knowledge in these skills at least. So essentially, front end and back end developing is kind of goes hand in hand because you do need both of them if you're going to have a website. Essentially, web developers will work together to create a website from front to back, from the front end to the back end, so that your website is cohesive, runs smoothly, and functions as it's supposed to. I say this all the time, but it's so much more to a website than just the way that it looks and even the way that it navigates for people. There is a lot of back end work that has to go in to make sure that your website is doing exactly what it's supposed to be doing. So hopefully that explained a little bit more about what exactly the difference is between front end development and back end development and how those things can help you to bring your website together. So if you like this video, then stay tuned. Make sure to subscribe and like and leave us a comment down below, and just stay tuned for our next video. Bye!